Trust is a fragile thing. It takes years to build, but a single betrayal can shatter it beyond repair. I never thought I would be the guy with the cheating wife, the one who gets blindsided by infidelity. But life has a way of teaching you lessons in the most painful ways. My wife, Lisa, thought she had me fooled. She thought I was oblivious, too trusting, too blind to see the truth. So I let her believe that. I let her feel safe, comfortable in her deception. Then, when the moment was right, I revealed everything. This is the story of how I caught my wife cheating, made her think she got away with it, and then exposed her in a way she never saw coming. Lisa and I had been married for 7 years. We weren't perfect, but I thought we were happy. She was the kind of woman who could light up a room with her presence, charming, beautiful, and always the center of attention. I loved her deeply, maybe too much. Looking back, I should have seen the signs. The sudden obsession with her phone, the new perfume she had never worn before, the way she started dressing up even when she claimed she was just going out with her girlfriends. I brushed off my suspicions at first, chalking it up to overthinking. But then, things started adding up. Lisa had always been affectionate, but suddenly, she was distant. The intimacy that had once been effortless between us became forced, mechanical. She started working late more often, making excuses that didn't add up. I remember one evening when she told me she had a late-night work event. That night, I called her office just to check. The receptionist told me there was no event. My heart sank, but I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I started observing. One night, Lisa was asleep, and her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Normally, she'd keep it face down, but this time it was up. A message popped up from a name I didn't recognize. "Last night was amazing. Can't wait to see you again." My stomach churned. I didn't wake her. I didn't grab the phone and start yelling. No, that would be too easy for her. She could make excuses, delete messages, gaslight me into believing I was being paranoid. Instead, I took a deep breath and planned my next move. Over the next few weeks, I became a detective in my own marriage. I checked her phone when she was in the shower, took screenshots of messages, noted down call logs. She was smart, but not smart enough. She had a second phone, one I found buried at the bottom of her work bag. That's where the real conversations were happening. Her affair partner's name was Jake. They had been seeing each other for at least 6 months. That night, I sat in my car, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. I could have confronted her right then and there, but no, that would be letting her off too easy. She had spent half a year making a fool out of me. I needed revenge. The kind that she would never recover from. From that moment on, I played the perfect husband. I didn't let her see my anger. I told her I loved her every day. I planned date nights, complimented her, even pretended to be more affectionate. If she ever had the slightest suspicion that I knew, she dismissed it. She believed she had fooled me. And that was exactly what I wanted. While she thought she was living her double life undetected, I was setting everything up. I contacted a divorce lawyer and made sure my assets were protected. I gathered every single piece of evidence, texts, photos, timestamps, screenshots of location history. I even planted a small GPS tracker in her car just to confirm where she was really going on those work trips. Then I waited. Waited for the perfect moment to expose her in a way she would never forget. Lisa's birthday was approaching, and she was planning a small party with our closest friends and family. She was excited, completely oblivious to what was coming. On the night of the party, I acted as if everything was normal. I made a toast, praising her, making her feel like she was on top of the world. And then, as the laughter and conversation flowed, I turned on the TV. Everyone turned to look. Instead of a slideshow of birthday memories, what played on the screen was something entirely different. Screenshots of messages between Lisa and Jake. Pictures of them together in hotel rooms. Dates, locations, timestamps, everything. The room fell into dead silence. Lisa gasped, her face draining of color. Jake, who was actually there pretending to be just another guest, froze in place. I turned to Lisa and said, "Happy birthday, sweetheart." I hope this year brings you as much excitement as the last 6 months have. The realization hit her like a ton of bricks. She looked around, seeing our friends and families staring at her in shock and disgust. Her own parents, who had always adored me, were speechless. She tried to speak, to explain, but I raised a hand. Save it, Lisa. The divorce papers are already filed. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. She started crying, begging me to talk in private. But there was nothing left to say. Jake, the coward, quietly slipped out the door, abandoning her in her moment of humiliation. I walked out that night with my head held high, leaving her to deal with the consequences of her actions. The divorce was swift, clean, and left her with almost nothing. I had made sure of that. She tried reaching out to me multiple times in the following weeks, apologizing, begging for another chance. I never responded. She moved out of the house, and from what I heard through mutual friends, things didn't go well for her after that. Jake never committed to her. He was just using her. She lost her reputation, her dignity, and any chance of crawling back into the life she had thrown away. As for me, I moved on. It took time, but I rebuilt my life. I found someone new, someone who truly valued loyalty, honesty, and respect. Someone who didn't make me feel like I had to be a detective in my own marriage. Lisa thought she had me fooled. She thought she had everything under control. But in the end, I let her think she was safe, until the moment I revealed everything. And that moment was worth every second of the wait.